Hi, my name is Catherine Fry, and I'm the CEO and president of Mediafy, located in beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we are a business that helps empower service-based businesses to better supply their services to the local Chattanooga and surrounding areas. And today I am speaking with Lee Jones of Backyard Fence Pro. Hey, Lee, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Great. Where are you today?
I am at the office because of rain.
You're at the office. And that's in Rossville, right? Is that Rossville, Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
Rossville. Amen. Yes, I'm very, very familiar with Rossville. So, okay, well, thank you for joining us. And I know you're tremendously hardworking, and I appreciate you taking time off to, speak to us. I want to start out by asking you, what made you get into the tree service industry?
Fence company.
Yes, I apologize. The fence company industry. Yes, I know you're a fence company industry. Sorry. What made you get into the fence business? My apologies. Yes.
Well, we used to do a lot of remodeling and everything, and really enjoyed it. But I really wanted to get somewhere where we could be more outdoors. So I actually started into my fence company. Really enjoy doing the woodworking and craft. So, I mean, that's where we come from.
Okay. All right. Excellent. And how long have you been in your industry? How long have you been doing this?
Uh, Total years and everything, probably about 20 years.
So your whole life, basically,
Oh,
your whole working life. I mean, you're still a
definitely.
young man. So,
I don't feel like it sometimes.
have you ever done anything else?
I've done oil rigs and stuff like that, but it was still basically on the building side of them, and just went from a larger aspect down to a smaller, which residential and stuff like that, and then went down to
Mhm.
fence company, building decks, handrails, and so on.
So you also so you'll install the fences, but you'll also do you also build decks now? Do you do that now?
Yes, I do.
You do?
We just
Okay.
implemented that in
What
the
other
past
services do
year.
you offer?
We do handrails for like for when you're going down, on your porch and stuff like that. Commercial handrails for handicap accessibilities and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Excellent. And I think did you mention to me that you're kind of getting into remodeling a little bit? Do you do that
No, I actually
too?
got out of remodeling.
You got out of that. Okay. So
Yeah,
you
got
did
out
do
of
that.
remodeling.
You're not doing that
Yeah, no.
now. Okay. Okay. All right. So what's the biggest lessons that you've learned from running your fence installation company?
Oh, there's a bunch. Well,
Start with the biggest one. Like, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned? The absolute biggest, life changing lesson.
I don't really know. Never really thought about it on that aspect.
I mean, how about
I mean,
this? Wh- When you started this business, I'm sure that you just sort of dove in head first, right? I
yes,
mean,
ma'am.
did you have anyone guiding you? Or did you just sort of figure it out as you went?
No, for the first year, when I first started this extra fence company, it had the ups and downs because, I didn't
Mhm.
have, a whole lot of background in bidding the jobs. So as I went on, I learned how to bid it better and everything else
Yeah.
and
So
be able to
so
run.
so you had to learn how to bid. And what about hiring people? Was there a big learning curve in learning how to hire
Uh,
people and retain them?
that is a big chore, even till today, which, the economy right now, which not a lot of people out here want to work. So you gotta kind of understand how to talk to people and work with them and
Yeah.
see on their eye to eye, with the troubles they've got going on with their everyday life, and then just try to help them out as best as you can. And but
Mhm.
keep a business side of it too, and a friends and family side.
Right, exactly. Okay, so what separates a professional fence installation service from just like a guy out there installing a fence? I mean,
Well,
how do you differentiate the two?
well,
I mean, are you competing against people who just really don't know what they're doing and they think they can just go down to Home Depot and buy a fence? I would never
that's
dare.
every day.
You
That is every day. I've done two in the last. I'd say in the last month that I've had a client is called me back from where they've hired somebody, oh, I got a friend of a friend that knows how to do the fences. And then they get out there and they start to do it. And they've got the bases, but they just don't have the skill set to be able to get it right and make it look good. I mean, it's a little bit more than just digging a hole and planting a post. And most people don't understand that, and they think if they got a hammer and nail, they can do anything.
right. But then there's no quality and it'll
Yeah,
fall apart and it doesn't last. And I mean, of course, there's no warranty if it's just a friend. And I mean,
yeah, that's the big thing.
I've witnessed professional fence installers out there. This is hard work. This is very hard. It can be backbreaking.
Yeah,
It can be hot. They have to know what they're doing.
it's
So,
not for everybody.
no, no. Although sometimes I do feel a little jealous because you guys get to be outside and people like me are just sort of stuck inside. So, you know, yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
I
like
try.
what you do.
I tried to sit here in the office, let the guys run the show. I can't do it. I enjoy being out there and installing it. I
Being
love watching
involved.
something coming together.
What are the biggest hazards of your profession? Are there hazards that you can
Uh,
identify?
the biggest hazards is like right here in the summer is staying hydrated, keeping your electrolytes up, your salt level, everything to make sure you don't pass out in this heat because it's going to get brutal out here in the next couple of weeks. It's already like yesterday it hit up into the 90s.
Yeah, yeah, I'll bet. I know one time I was out observing some people installing a fence, and they hit a yellow jacket's nest,
Hmm.
and that made those yellow jackets incredibly angry.
Oh
And
yeah.
we were all kind of running for our lives. And have you ever had anything like that happen? Anything similar?
Well, I've hit Yellow Jacket's nest. We was drilling holes. We was down here in downtown Chattanooga, right next to Vine Street. There's a little creek going back through there, and we actually hit a nest of snakes.
Oh gosh,
Uh,
you hit a
that was
nest of
pretty.
snakes.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Or
So
the normal,
how did you
whatever
deal
they
with
call
it?
it. We pretty much, called out, um, animal catchers. They come out, caught all the snakes, relocate them to where they needed to go.
Mm. Did it delay your work for the day?
It did, but the homeowner understood. We don't want nobody, getting have to run to the hospital and getting shots and
Right?
everything. Venomous snake bites.
Snake bites. So did you continue working that day, or did you just come back the next day? Did you
Well, I
take a
sent the
break?
guys home for that day because it took the animal control out a little bit to come out and get them, and
Yeah.
but when they got there and everything, it went pretty quick. So thank
Mm.
God for them guys. Uh,
Oh,
but we come back the next day, finished up the job, and
and
customer was
everything was
really
okay.
happy.
Okay. What are the most popular fence styles that homeowners are choosing right now?
Well, the vinyl is up there really good. A lot of people are really happy with the vinyl fences. On cost wise, I would say you got between chain link and a wood privacy.
Chain link and wood privacy. Okay, so those are the
Hmm.
ones that people are mostly using because the price is so competitive.
Yes, ma'am.
Vinyl tends to cost more. Okay. Does vinyl
Vinyl
last longer?
does. Yes, it does, but it's got its pros and cons. After a while, people weed eating, damages it and everything else. But it's got
Mhm.
its pros and cons.
Okay. So how do you help customers decide between like wood, vinyl, aluminum, or chain link? You know, when you're sitting down with them kind of during the discovery process.
Well, we kind of walk them through a little bit of everything that we got, the process, and we tell them how to treat all the material. So if you go with
Mhm,
vinyl, we tell them, you got to pressure wash it, keep it, use some soap to keep the mold off of it and how to maintain their wood fences to get the long life out of them, and on
mhm.
the chain link, what they need to do and stuff like that. So we kind of work with them through the pros and cons of what's better here and what's better there. So they're not just, you know, I don't want to try to sell nobody a fence that that's not going to last them what they want. So my biggest thing is I want to make them happy. And if you buy a wood fence from us, we have an option to where you can buy a maintenance plan. We come out every so years, pressure wash it, do a stain on it or a water seal, what it needs.
Okay. So, what should homeowners know before installing a new fence? Like, what's critical for them to know before making this decision? Because typically when you get a fence, I mean, it'll last 20 years, right? So it's not like this is a short-term decision. This is going to affect your property value. This is going to affect how your dogs stay
Oh,
in your yard, how it
oh,
looks.
it's going to increase your value to your home a good bit. The main thing is I try to tell the homeowners, in this purchase, it's a big purchase. Get what you want, because you're not going to
Yeah.
be satisfied with it if you just get, oh, I'm just going to grab this just because right now. Um, I always try to tell them, get what you want, because
Do what you want because
it's
this
a
is a
big purchase.
one-time capital purchase, right? It's a one-time thing. It's going to
Yeah,
last for years.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to come back in 10 years and replace it because it wasn't exactly what you want, and then spend twice the money.
Yeah, that would be pretty ridiculous, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so what are common mistakes that people make when hiring a fence contractor?
90% of them, they always try to go with the cheapest. They don't research the company. They don't, see how long they've been in business.
Mhm.
You can go on all their reviews, go on their websites or Facebook medias, and see what they're about, and how people is commented
Mhm.
into their company and everything else, to see what type of people you're dealing with. And the biggest thing of it is cheap is not always the best option. I wouldn't go the most highest, but try to find that middle budget right there, to where you're not, you know, you're going to
Yeah.
get a good quality. You're going to have that company. It's going to come back and maintenance it for, say, if they have a warranty issue or something like that. You don't want to go with the cheapest, because 90% of the time you got to call them back. 6 months later, the phone number's not connected anymore. They've done branched off and got a new number.
How important is the Google rating?
Google rating, I think, is a really, really big important. Um,
So people
because
should check that out.
yeah, I mean, you don't want to take it lightly. You want to, sit there, read a couple of them, read a couple of the bad ones, find out what they're about,
Mhm.
understand the reason if they, went down a star or went up a star or something like that, find out a little bit more about them. Do your research on the company, and, and Google reviews is a big way to tell if the company is going to be there for you, or just there for your money.
Mhm. Okay. Are there other search engines that you recommend that people look at other than Google?
uh Now, Facebook's pretty good. A lot of people are on social media.
Mhm.
What is that? Instagram. A lot of
Mhm.
people on Instagram and everything else. You got a lot of advertising in there. um
So probably those three. What about Yelp? Do you think Yelp is important or not so much? I mean, that's kind of I get different opinions.
Me, myself, personally, I'm not a really big Yelp type of person. I've tried them there for a little bit. I don't want to speak ill of anybody, but it just wasn't fit for my company.
What's
I
good for
I
your
just
company?
I really didn't
Uh-huh.
care for them.
Okay. All right. Um, so, okay, my next question. What fence styles do you think add most to the curb appeal of someone's home? Because we were talking about how when you invest in this purchase that's arguably a capital purchase that you won't ever have to make again on your property, okay? Or maybe in 20 years, maybe. What will add to the curb appeal? What fence style would you argue for?
Me, I like the ones, where you get that 3D dimension. You go with a good 6x6 post, and then you got the 2x6 top cap and everything. So it gives it that 3D look. So when you're looking at it, it just ain't just a plain wall. It gives some kind of character, like a good board
Okay.
on board. Or if you're going with a vinyl, go with a different look and just instead of just a flat, which the flat is, the traditional. It's really nice, but get something
Mhm.
that stands out there. I mean, because putting a top cap on it don't really cost that much extra.
Yeah, those top caps are really pretty, and there's different top cap styles, aren't there?
No, yes,
Different
ma'am.
styles make it look very artistic,
Yeah,
very classy.
like we just got done with one right over here in Chattanooga. We did a board on board with a top cap, and what we did is we went through and put the nice decorative tops with the solar panel lights on top of it. So as you're going into your
Yes.
backyard at night, it kind of gives you a little bit of illumination, so you're not just going into a dark hole.
Yeah, so there's no electric bill with that. That just they get
Nope.
that from the sun, don't they?
Yeah, just
Yes.
free,
How amazing.
free.
I think those are really amazing. And
Yes.
I know that you did the fence for my neighbors. And now
Mhm.
that's a fence because they got dogs, right? Was that to keep the
Yes.
dogs in? Okay, so is there
Yeah,
a
they
specific?
bought two little dogs. Yes.
Yes, and I've met those little dogs, and they are sweethearts, and I'm glad they're there. But I'm also glad that the fence is there because there's a lot of cats in the neighborhood. So,
Mhm.
so is that type of fence? Are there particular fences for keeping dogs enclosed? Is that a particular type of fence specifically for that purpose?
Well, on that, I mean, chain link is good for smaller dogs and stuff like that. A lot of dogs
Hmm.
that don't like to jump. Now, if you've
Hmm.
got a big, German Shepherd like I do, I like to have a nice privacy, something that, it makes it where they
Hmm.
can't climb easy,
Hmm.
and it snugs it up to the ground nice and tight,
Hmm.
so they don't dig up underneath it and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. All right, I'm going to pivot to another issue. You're in a service-based business, so you're constantly dealing with the public on a regular basis. And I know that it takes a special type of patience to do that, to deal with the public. So, what does great customer service look like in your industry? What constitutes great customer service?
Uh, Great customer service, letting the customer, know what's going on. Don't overfeed them, of information because that will get a little bit irritating to them as well. Keep them
Hmm.
up, if you're not going to be there, if you're going to be a little bit late, make sure to call. Um, you know, just always
Communication,
communicate with the customer. I mean,
communicating with the
it's the best.
clients. So how do you deal
And
with someone who's upset? What if they call and they're upset? I mean, that's always going to happen. You can't please everyone all the time. So someone calls in, they're upset about something. What's the best way to deal with that?
well, you try to find out what's going on with them and see what you
Hmm.
can do to help to fix the corrections. Not everybody you're going to be able to fix the correction. There's some people out here who are just negative, and then there's some people out here, they might see it, and you talk to them, you be like, well, hey, let us get finished. We'll go through, we'll adjust everything, make sure everything is correct. You know,
Hmm.
communicate with me if you see something that you're not happy with, so we can address it pretty quick. And
Hmm.
but it's some
You
of them
found
get
that's probably
hard to
the
get.
best way. I'm
Yeah.
sure people can be very hard to deal with. And sometimes it's not even, you can't even resolve it, but I suppose you just can just try.
Yeah.
So,
And you always got to make sure they feel like they're the top priority. Don't make them feel
Yes.
like they're, a little bit lower. Make sure they're the top priority at the moment. You're at their house. You're a
Hmm.
guest. They're inviting you
Yeah.
in. They don't have, you know, be nice, be
Have you found
courteous to your team.
Have you found when, like, for instance, when you were working on my neighbor's house and everyone knew that these fences were going up? I mean, it was like the talk of the neighborhood. Did a lot of
Hmm.
people come by and talk to you? And if so, do you think you'll get business off of that particular project? Do you find that working in a neighborhood, it kind of spreads, and that helps you get more business?
Oh yeah, if you're the type, you go into a job and you start it and you stay nice and neat all the way through.
As
You keep your
you were,
material stacked up neatly. Don't let it just spread out everywhere. People are going to come up. They're going to see that. They're going to talk to you. They're going to want you to come
yeah.
over, look at their fence. Like on that one job right beside your house, we got 3 different jobs off of it.
That's what I was wondering. I thought you would because you guys were so perfect and so clean, and that fence is just ideal. And I know that I got texts from people saying, "Did you see the fence that's going up next door? Did you see that?" And I said, "Yeah, it looks good." And they're like, "Yeah." I mean, it was the talk. So I assume that you would have gotten business off of that. Okay. So how does your fence company stay involved in the community? Are you doing anything to kind of keep your name out there community wise?
We try to invest out here into the rec teams like baseball and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Any kind of events, we always try, like the school baseball teams, we donate to them for, their uniforms, whatnot, whatever they need, and we always try
Like
to help out
LFO?
all the kids. Hmm.
Yeah, I always see all those businesses that are donating to LFO. I see because they
Oh
have
yeah.
them on the fence. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can see how that would be very meaningful, and it's one of those where you're helping your community, you're getting your name out there at the same time. You're helping your
Hmm.
business and helping the community. Okay, what is the craziest thing that you've ever encountered on a job site?
Hmm.
Anything just completely insane?
Well, I was over here on top of Etna Mountain, and I was sitting there. I had my back turned towards woods, and just stapling off the wire fence, and it
Yeah.
just felt like something was staring at me. And I turned around, and it was a black bear.
Oh no! So what did you
Yeah,
do?
slowly got up, walked away.
Oh
Went
dear
home for the
God!
night, left all my tools.
And what did the bear do?
No,
Did he
nothing.
just
It just stood there. As
stood
I
there?
got back inside the fence, he kind of just walked off. So I called it a
Wow!
night.
You called it a night and went home.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! I know that a less experienced or perhaps less intelligent individual might have run for their lives, but then they would have been chased, and that would have
Oh
been
yeah.
awful. So you dealt with it properly. Yes. Okay, what project are you most proud of? Do you have one?
I'm proud of every fence I put in.
That's a great answer. That is a great answer. Yeah, because they are like your work of art, aren't they?
Hmm.
Everyone is
They're
a
me.
work
I
of art.
mean, they're. Uh, I don't know. It's just something about it. I mean, every job I try to put 100%. I don't care if it's a $25 job or a $30,000 job. I put 100% in everything I do. And
You give it everything
if it
you
ain't worth put, yeah, if it ain't worth putting 100%, you might as well just go home.
got. Mm-hmm. Okay, I agree. Go big or go home, right, Lee? That's what
Hmm.
I always say. All right. So, do you offer custom fence designs?
We offer all kinds, uh, anywhere from horizontal, vertical. We've done at 45-degree angles of the herringbone style. We've done a
Mm,
bunch of fences. We
okay.
don't we
Okay.
don't just stick to. main styles of fence.
Mm-hmm.
If you can imagine it, we'll build it.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and tell our listeners your domain, your web domain, and how they can best reach you.
Well, we got multiple ways. We got the
Mm-hmm.
website, which is backyardfencepro.net. They can reach
Mm-hmm.
out to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And always call in to 706-956-8066. That is the most fastest way. You can always text us, message us over Facebook. Well, we've got multiple ways, and there's somebody that's going to answer 24/7.
Oh,
We
really?
don't a small repair. Say if you're at your house and you're trying to go to work and your electric gate don't work, and it's at 1 o'clock in the morning, give me a call. I'll come out and fix it, or make it to where it can open and come back the next day where I can get the parts.
All right. Here's another quick question. The process. What is your process like from estimate to completion?
Well, on us, we always like to come out to the job. We don't like to do any kind of prices over the phone, because then you get out there and you're like, oh no, it's going to be this price. So I like to come out
Mhm.
there. I've got this thing called a Mosier. I run around your property. It gives a draw out layer of line of it. It will show where the
Mhm.
gates are, everything. It will show elevations, and I'm able to
Mm.
send it to you in a PDF. So if you have an HOA that you got to turn it into, you could throw that out there. It'll tell them
Mhm.
exactly how many feet's going out, how many feet's going back, what gates, everything, and then we'll send you out a picture. What style of gate you're going to go with, so you can send it into your HOA. And if you don't know how to do it, we will help to assist with your HOA problems to get them to where they'll pass it. And then
Yeah.
at that point, we write up the contract, we sign it, and then we go from there, get the material delivered out and start
Mhm.
installation. We don't like the material to sit there for
Yeah.
more than a day.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I noticed that with my neighbor that I didn't even see any material sitting there. I never did. You guys were just working. So, okay. So Lee, thank you for joining us today. I've been talking to Lee Jones, who is the president and owner of Backyard Fence Pro, and they are fence installers. I am Catherine Fry, the CEO of Mediafy Communications Group. Thank you for joining us today, Lee. And I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in today.
Thank